Hi guys, so I don't think you can really use the Khan Academy and record videos over it, you know? So I'm a tutor in Taiwan, I tutor math, and I just want to make videos because I need practices as well. So I just want to make these videos as free resources for the students in Taiwan, especially those students who want to go abroad to study, you know, and you also can learn from it. And yeah, hopefully it helps with your mathematics skills. I'm mainly teaching mathematics. So yeah, let's dig in. So because I tried to upload videos that contains these contents, and I try to voice over them, but I don't think you can do it. So I'm gonna try to do another way. And plus the checking part um, is not allowing me to do that. So I think a lot of times could be audio. I'm not sure which type of checking they're conducting, what method. So I'm gonna try it again. Okay, hopefully this time it does work. So this is geometric series, which we were doing. So I'm gonna just do voice over it. I'm not gonna run through it. So this is a geometric series, right? So you have 1,000 here all the way down. So you times it by 1.05 because the money is growing at a 5% rate. Alright, let me just increase. Okay, the quality. So all the way down, you're gonna have 1,000 plus 1,000 times 1.05 times 1.05, so 1.05 to the power of 2, right? And you're gonna have an ultimate series that is adding from 1,000 all the way to 1,000 times 1.05 because we're growing 5%, and don't forget itself, so 1 has to be in there. And the rate at this rate, and then you're gonna, because you times over and over, right? So it's gonna be to the power of n minus 1, right? N minus 1, right? You see, n minus 1. Okay, that's the first video. And the second video, I'm gonna just do a summary of all the videos. So let's see here.
Let's say that I have
summary of every video, and it's saying I'm doing it too long, so I'm gonna try to make it quick. Okay, so you have a geometric series here, sequence. All right, so this is introducing geometric series. Okay, so in geometric sequence, you have just a comma in between that representing the sequence that goes on, right? If you have 1 to the power 1 over 2, 1 over 4, 1 over 8, all the way down. So this times it by 1 over 2, right? 1/2. And times it by 1/2 again, all the way down, right? So it's a geometric because we times by a rate. Alright? Am I doing this? Okay. So you can't see my hand, but you can see my mouse, right? Let me enhance this. Okay, and then so all the way down to n. So the sequence could be n, right? It could be n. So this is the notation. The notation of 1 to the sequence can go on forever. And then this one will be gonna be an equals to, this is in sequence, so review a sequence. All right, 1, okay, this is the rate. 1/2 is the rate. We figured it out just a moment ago, okay? And n minus 1 because the first sequence doesn't count, right? The rate is counting from here, right? So you have to minus 1. If it's saying n is the whole part, you have to get rid of the a1, the first term, right? So that's why it's n minus 1, all right? So this is going to be easy peasy, right? Geometric series, just change the comma to plus, right? You add them together. You sum up everything. Summing up everything. That's, in essence, geometric series, right? Okay. So, how do you note this? You put a notation by 1. This is starting point, which is your n equals to 1, right? Your starting point is the first term, all the way to whatever you want, right? So it's gonna be 1 over 2 is your rate, and n minus 1. So this is gonna give us, and this is a summing up notation, right? And then, so it's gonna be this sequence. If you put a 1 in it, it's gonna be 0. So 1/2 to the power of 0 is gonna be what? 1. So behold, it's gonna be 1 here. And then the second one, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, all the way down, all right? 1/4, all the way down, all right? Okay, add them together. That's gonna be a geometric series. Okay, hopefully this works, man. If it's gonna be copyright issues again, wow. Because I'm summing up everything. I'm not doing the exact things. Okay. Geometric series. Okay. So this is gonna get into details of the geometric series, right? It's gonna be A. This is the first term. And R, common ratio. I'm summing up all of them, okay? So I'm gonna doing this quick. N is the number of the terms, right? Number of the terms. You cancel them out, okay? We'll talk about this later, all right? We're just defining it for now. These are all familiar. If you check out your sequence, you'll know, right? A is the first term, but it's supposedly to be A1, right? A1, a small one at the side. And N is the number of terms, all right? Sn is the sum of the first n terms. So whatever number you got in mind, you can put that in your n, right? And it's gonna sum up to that point. If it's gonna be 5, then 5. It's gonna be 10, it's gonna be 10, all right? So Sn is, if you put a 10 to it, it's gonna be A, right? A1 is the first term. And our rate is what? We did not apply the rate for the first term, right? So it's going to be A, and AR, A to the power of 2, all the way down to A to the R, n minus 1. Remember what we said about sequence, right? The last term going to be what? Apply the rate that doesn't include the first term. So that's hence n minus 1, right? R to the power of n minus 1, right? So when we apply negative R, since what we're trying to do here is to prove the formula underneath it, right? Sn equals to A1, spoiler alert, right? 1 minus R to the power of n, okay, bracket, and over what? There's another what? Your denominator is going to be 1 minus R, all right? That R is being your rate, okay? Common ratio. Okay, so we're trying to prove this by canceling out the terms in between, all right? So we're going to get another Sn, and this time we apply an R first to it, okay? So you're gonna get R1 R. You don't know the R minus yet because I haven't talked about it yet. Okay, we're gonna do that later. We just know A1 times R to the power of 2. Okay, power of 3 all the way down to here. A R n minus 1 is our what? Is our term that is before the last term. Okay, what happens here? What happens here? Why aren't these two not the same? Because we slide it over. Not only that, we apply R, right? If you apply R to the last term, this is the original term, just that the only difference is that we've applied an R to it. We times R to it, right? So this here was your last term, and then you times R. So the minus 1 will what? Plus 1, right? The power, in the power, you plus 1. So you're left with n, right? A times R to the power of n, right? So now you know, this being your last term, alright? This here is not your last term, but the last one is going to be applying an R to it. It's going to be here, which we then slide over one slot to get rid of the middle part. So now you do what? You do the minus and you change the sign all the way down from plus to minus, right? Okay, so you minus and then you do the equation, right? You minus on both sides. You add them up on both sides. So A minus ARN. And then you take the SN out. On the left hand side, you left with 1 and 1 minus R, right? And the other side, right hand side A, you take it out, 1 minus R to the power of n, right? Okay, so these are just basic algebra, right? And then you slide it over, and it's going to be A, 1 minus R to the power of n, and then divided by what? 1 minus R, correct? Okay, so this will be another finite geometric series. Okay, so we're gonna work on an example. I'm not gonna go through the practices, alright? We don't got time.
At this point, it is just a...
Okay, so work example, okay? Sum up the 50 terms. So you just use the formula, right? 1 minus R, this is your rate. See, you figure out whenever it's gonna be a calculation question, you're gonna figure out the rate first, alright? And then you apply it, you fit in, it's just plug in, and then your answer will be there, alright? So, and you got your answer. Okay. Applying, figure out the rate and apply the terms, whatever the question is asking, how many terms you want to have, you're gonna plug it in, alright? So your n is gonna be here. It's not n minus 1, it's gonna be n, alright? Couldn't stress this point enough, alright? It's gonna be R to the power of n. A1 times 1 minus R to the power of n divided by 1 minus R, right? Okay. So geometric formula, we got that down. Just, oh, that's the, so we're gonna see a word problem, okay? So the monkey.
We're told a monkey half the length.
Monkey, right? A monkey swing, 24. And the length becomes half of that, alright? The length becomes half of that. You can pause and read the question yourself, okay? So the next term will be what? 24, 12, 6, 3, all the way down, alright? So, it swings 24 and back half of that. It's going to be 12, okay? 24, 12, 6, 3, divided by 2, so it's going to be 3 over 2, so all the way down, okay? So the question is asking you for what? N swings, right? So it's gonna be 24 n times n, and then what? And then gonna be no, Sn, right? Sn. So A1 is 24 times 1 minus R, which is 1 over one half, and then to the power of n. We don't know the n yet. And divided by what? 1 minus 1 half. So your denominator we're going to be 1 minus 1 half is still 1 half, right? So divided by 1 half is going to be times 2, right? So you're going to have a new equation is going to be like Sn equals to 48 times 1 minus R to the power of n and the parenthesis, right? Okay, 25. Apply 25 in it. So 25 in it. 1 half 25. 1 divided by 2 equals 25. That's gonna be your R to the power of n, right? So you have to remember this, and 1 minus that equals to that, and times it by what? 48 equals to 48. Okay, so that's gonna be the second question is gonna be 48. All right. Okay, 48, right? So it's going to be 48. So the next question.
We're told Sloan went on
Okay, Sloan 4-day hiking trip. So it's going to be 4. The term is going to n is going to be 4, right? So 1.2, 20% more. So include the rate is going to be including what? Yourself, right? Itself. The previous day itself, right? So it's going to be 1.2. It's growing. So you're not going to grow by times it by 20%. It's going to be shrinking that thus much, okay? So you're gonna be applying 1 plus 20%. It's gonna be 1.2. Okay, that's your rate. And what is your total? Sn. That is your total, right? Walk the total of 27. So your 27 is gonna be on your left-hand side of your formula, which is Sn. Okay? Sn equals to what? Equals to A1. A1 is, we don't know that. So the question is asking you for the A1, okay? The first day. How much did Sloan walked on the first day, right? Okay. So A1 times by 1 minus R, which is 1.2 to the power of 4. 1.2 to the power of 4 divided by, and the parenthesis, and divided by 1 minus R 1.2, so it's negative. The denominator will be negative 0.2. Alright. And negative 0.2, 1 minus, so we still need the calculator for that. 1.2 to the power of what? 4. So you still gonna 1 minus that, right? Remember that. 1 minus that. So that's your numerator divided by 0.2, right? Change the sign. 5.368. Okay. Remember that. The total is 27. Okay. 27 divide by, recall. So it's gonna be 5. Okay? Slow and whatever he, she name is. Okay? It's gonna be 5.029. Okay? He walked that much. Okay, let's see the answer. Okay, behold the answer. Okay, so we finished the lesson, this lesson 1. Okay, we're gonna have a couple of more lessons, and we're gonna combine them with Excel, and we're gonna automate the whole process, and hopefully that will ingrain in your mind so that you know how the algorithms work all together, because we designed it together. So that's gonna be my thing. Okay, that's gonna be my videos. I'm a tutor, a math tutor in Taiwan by night. I'm an accountant. I'm a semi-accountant. All right, and then I'm just gonna help you with math. That's my intention. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you got a good grades on your tests and all of your endeavor.